Reading for my brothers 5-4-92 and 8-13-93.
All right, what do you want? Compatibility?
He wants reading for my brothers.
All right, your brother's 5-4-1992, 3 Lifepath, which means he has to be a networker. Should be pretty funny. Should look very young for his age. He's gonna age like wine. He can't be a hustler though. Most 3s are hustlers, but he can't be a hustler because he's born on the 4th. 4 is Law and Order. So like even back in the day when I was hustling, I wouldn't even get in the car that had 4 in the license plate. I was on it. So if you're a 4, don't play no games. You have to be a hard ass worker. He should not get married. Sorry. That's the thing, man. I'm trying to save people trouble. I didn't say don't have kids.
Yeah.
Just find someone who you can deal with, man. But don't lock it up on paper because it's going to fuck you up. I can tell that in the birthday. And he's going to have a big bag, but he's going to have to wait for it. Next, 8-13. Damn, you got all these goddamn people born on the 4. You should open a family-owned company and have these guys work for you, man.
Damn.
Because anyone born on the 13th, that's going to be a hard-ass worker. And by the way, all you guys out there is always telling me, yo, Gary, I can't find any good workers. Well, of course, you're in America. But if you want people in America who are good workers and you don't want to hire an immigrant, not everyone wants to hire a Mexican and stuff like that. Some people want, pay people legitimate wages. People want to be on the Team Trump. So if you want someone who's going to work hard, find someone born on the 4th, 13th, 31st. Or someone who's a 4 life path. This guy works. Bro, he did a podcast 2 days ago, flew out to D.C., kicked it with Trump, said what's up to all the people down here, and he flew back down here, and now he's kicking it with us plebs. Yeah. You see what I'm trying to tell you, man? This is a hard-ass worker, man. He ain't fucking bullshitting like you guys. You guys going to a 9 to 5. This guy's jumping out planes.
Gary, do you think
job done?
Do you think it's possible any of the elites are hiring off of numerology, off life paths and things?
I would assume that they're running people who they want to win in certain years. Mark Carney in Canada, he was not supposed to win. It was supposed to be Paul Poiriev's year. It was supposed to be the conservatives. All of a sudden, this snake comes out of nowhere, and he's dominating in the snake year. So, this is a pattern you notice. Vladimir Putin, born 2012.
Wow.
I'm sorry, Vladimir Putin, born 1952. That's a dragon year.
Yeah.
Ran the first time in 2000, was reelected again in 2012. Both dragon years. And then Clinton's dumbass, so I'll say it again, Clinton's dumbass decided to attack this guy in 2012. She tried to overthrow him in 2012. See, the United States and the CIA, they do not learn their fucking lessons. You would think the USA would have learned their lesson from trying to overthrow through Hugo Chavez in 2002 in Venezuela, a horse year, and Hugo Chavez is his 66th horse. What the fuck is wrong with you? You can't overthrow someone in their own year. So obviously, I think I've seen some intelligence agencies do it better than most. I would say Mossad's probably really good at it. CIA's probably catching up. I would say Russian KGB, formerly, or they would call it FSB, is pretty good at it. I think the MI6, they're a whole bunch of fruitcakes. So I'm not too sure about them, but it is what it is. Going back to you, my friend. Your brother is a 7 life path, the second one who's born. So that means he's going to be the more intelligent brother. It is what it is. I'm not trying to bullshit. He's also going to be more of a loyal one, where the first brother is going to be a little bit more jumping off the walls, doing his own thing, things of that nature. Now, they're going to be have a love-hate relationship. Either they're going to love being together or they're going to hate being together. It's going to go back and forth with them, so you're always going to have to play peacemaker. It is what it is, but it's 93 year, and 93's year this year.
By the way, that was $20 you donated. Mario's the money maker, bro. He makes money.
Yeah.
Super Mario. All right, Evangelista Cortez.
Super Mario.
I would love a reading, December 9, 97, and your thoughts on my money moves for this year. I'd like to hear your point of view on the twin flame relationship. Okay.
Well, some people have a lot of soulmates. Some people have very limited soulmates. You know what the biggest challenge for most people is? And this doesn't happen, well, actually, I shouldn't say most. The biggest challenge for people when they're in a relationship with their soulmate and then they meet a soulmate from a past life.
Oh,
that fucks with people. especially women. And, that's sometimes when you see these cheating shit going on. And again, I'll be the first one to call out a fucking 304 and stuff like that. But, honestly, sometimes there's people in relationships who they're rock solid. And then all of a sudden, this woman meets a guy or this guy meets a woman, and it's not sexual. It's not, you can say that again. It's not sexual or anything like that, but they just feel like they have a link towards each other, and sometimes it's past life stuff. So I'm talking about like maybe 1 out of 1,000 times when people cheat. So it's not that big of a deal, but it does happen. So yes, I do believe twin flames exist, but you probably don't have too many of them. Being a Sag, man, you're a smart-lipped one, man. You're also an ox, so you're not going to tell you anything. You're also an 11 life path, so you are emotional. Oxes are dominant in relationships. Now, some guys want a feminine woman. Go out there, find yourself an ox, find yourself a cat. Pigs can be feminine, but they're ran through. But, oxes are more of the dominant sign. Oxes like to dictate terms, even if a woman, sometimes you see a relationship where a woman wears the pants, it's sometimes an ox or a dragon woman or a tiger woman. Those are the 3 more dominant signs, even if they're females.
I have a question. Can you break down an ox to be more feminine or no?
I mean, you're not going to do it overnight for sure.
Got it.
That one's going to take some time to mold. Oxes are very slow changing people. They're kind of set in their ways, but you can change them. You give anyone a good enough D, you can change all of them. I'm a firm believer in that. Listen, I'm going to keep it real. I don't believe in lesbians. I don't believe there's such a real thing as lesbians. You just haven't right the dude yet.
Yeah,
that's all it is. Don't tell me that lesbian bullshit. And by the way, there's people in GG33. By the way, I don't let gay guys in my group, but lesbians are free to come. For lesbians can come in my group, gay guys can't. You know why? You know what the difference is?
What?
Well, we don't hold women to the same standard as men. So why would I hold them to any higher standard? Okay, so that's what it is. It's okay for women because we don't hold them to that standard. But men, I expect more out of them.
That's looking crazy, bro.
It is what it is.
Yeah, you funny.
Listen, going
Like
back to her, the right money moves for you. Okay. You're in a 1 year cycle. No, you're not. You're in an 11-year cycle right now. So anything that deals with getting people emotional. You're going to be rich. You're going to have money. I'm not even worried about that. It's going to take you. Definitely going to have in your 30s and stuff like that. I'm not worried about that at all. You have a lot of charisma to you, and that's what you should take advantage of. Only thing you're blinded by is beauty. So if you find some pretty boy, you might be in a little bit of trouble. Other than that, I think you're solid. I think you have a good head on your shoulders, and I think this is the year for you to do things. So. Something that has to do with exploiting your charisma because people really like being around you. You have one of those voices that people listen to. I can almost tell an 11 always by their voice. They have something extra in their voice, including maybe our next guest. Well, maybe he's the exception. We'll find out soon. But at the end of the day, as an 11, go out there, dominate. Remember, the people will always follow an 11 left path. Barack Obama, Ronald Reagan, Bill Clinton. We're talking about some of the most charismatic presidents of all time, even JFK, born on the 29th. So it is what it is.
All right.
If you guys want a live reading, 98 or above, or you can go to the bot that my people put together, 26 or above. It is what it is.
There you go. And Louise did that earlier. All right. So yeah, just finishing off for the guy that had didn't have kids with somebody that would claim to have kids with him. I think a lot of guys nowadays, they should definitely do a mandatory DNA test. It may sound crazy, but obviously speaking, our policies are not giving that as an actual given. But if you're going to have kids with somebody, you need to verify because nowadays you never know. It could have been ex-boyfriend she's messing with, ex-husband, baby daddy. She meets you.
Yeah.
Hopefully not dating single mothers. But the point is that it could be anybody in her life right now that smashed her in that time period. You
I
don't
agree,
know.
bro, because the thing with women, bro, they can actually change how the way men have to address them, how men have to treat them, and they'll hide it behind the excuse that times have changed, that we're evolving as people. So if men have to evolve and change the way that they treat women, they have to accept that we can do the same thing to them. For us to fall in love and get married, it should be a standard for us to give the DNA test if now there's new standards for women.
Yeah.
Like they now have raised the standard for how much we got to make. So we can also set, it shouldn't be wrong for men to also set their standards if we're in a new era. If we can accept their standards, it shouldn't really be no drama if we set our own.
You know, it's funny. Nowadays, women have no real shame, but they'll put the shame on you for having kids. Oh, why do you need to test me? You don't trust me?
No,
and it's like,
bitch,
and it's
I
like,
don't.
hold on. This is my life right now you're playing with. If this is not my kid, why the fuck do I want to raise another man's kid? So that right there tells me that for them, they're going to shame you to say, you know what, you're right. I don't want to rock the cradle, but honestly speaking, that's your life in her hands. So don't play that game, bro.
Listen, I'm going to make this real simple to you gentlemen
Get a DNA
out there.
test.
Do not trust a woman, okay? I trust my wife because I've been with her for 20 years. I trust my mother because she birthed me. I don't trust any other broad. You out your fucking mind?
She belongs to the streets.
Well, not all of them belong to the streets, but none of them belong in my wallet.
Well, I got a good question.
That much.
Gary. How long should a man that's watching this, how long should they consider? So your wife has gained your trust. When should a man start to consider to trust a woman?
See, that's why you are in difficult spots.
Bruh.
Not because you're black. Well, maybe, but not for this reason, okay?
Oh shit.
You guys are in difficult spots because, quite frankly, you're doing well financially. You're doing well financially.
Yeah.
I met my wife before this ring.
Yeah.
I met my wife before this Rolex, okay? So she was with me when I was broke.
There you go.
So because I grew with her together and we accomplished stuff together, her following my lead, let's keep it real, but it was together. I can't have kids by myself. At the end of the day, I trust her because we grew together. Now, my wife could have married a millionaire back then. She didn't. She knew I had potential.
Yeah.
You know,
Ambition.
And listen, I did everything I told my wife I would do 25 years ago. I told her I'd make numerology mainstream. I told her I'd make a living as a numerologist. I told her we'd be rich. The only thing I told her we have healthy kids.
Yeah.
The only thing I didn't do, and I'm still working on it, so don't hold it against me. I promised her we have sex in the White House. So I'm working on that one.
What?
No, hey, yo. What? I promised I'd
Bill's
have
petty.
sex in the White House. Somehow, I'm going to get that done. Whether it's through my boy Trump, maybe Dom sneaks me in there. Somehow, it's going to happen. Okay?
We got up next, Scant San, birthday's 06-1389. Best advice on making and keeping money while buying real estate. I'm buying small businesses. What should I know about it? 13, I'm being born on the 13th. And as a snake, do have to leave Ohio.
Yeah, you definitely have to leave Ohio because did you know who I was fresh in 2022?
No,
Did you know who I was in 2022, Dom?
not a clue.
No. He knew, obviously, because we're in the same niche. But at the end of the day, no one knew who I was because I was in the state of Ohio, and that's a big state, and I am a snake. That does not work. So if you want to maximize your potential, you don't have to come down to Florida, but you definitely got to get the fuck out of fucking Ohio. Ohio is not for you. I had so many setbacks in Ohio. As a matter of fact, if I wasn't born in Ohio, I'd be worth at least $200 million by now.
Oh, shit.
So, yeah, Ohio held me back. So, yes, get the hell out of Ohio. I would prefer that if I was you, probably go to Missouri, Texas, or Florida. That's where you should go. And quite frankly, you can't hustle, bro. You got to do everything, cross the I's, dot the I's, cross the T's. You got to do everything. You do anything outside of the law, they will get you. You have one of those birthdays, brother. Trust me on that. And it's a snake in the snake year. You know what I'll tell you? Go hard, especially after your birthday. Right now, it's one thing, but after your birthday, you're going to be in that 1 year cycle, and that's exactly when you go hard. Not before. You're still in the 9. 9 is when you're in the 9 year cycle. It's a time of letting go, cutting off the unnecessary garbage you want in your life. Does that seem about right?
You know what? Your readings are really right on. Honestly, all of them are. It's always impressive. Gary drops little nuggets on me all day long, and I don't tell him I'm impressed with it because he has a huge ego, but they stick with me, and they're marinating in my mind,
you're not
and
going
it's
to make it
crazy.
any bigger, brother. Trust me, bad. People think I'm fucking, I weigh a lot because of my weight. Nah, bro, it's all up here, bro. This is my neck's strong as fuck, bro.
So I got a question, man. I just thought about you can't really unless you like Gary and plan for when people are born. Most people, they can't choose when they're born. Is it better off, let's say if you have your year coming up, to be born near the beginning of Chinese New Year because you would have more days?
It depends what month you're born. So you want the mom and the kid to be compatible. Mm-hmm. So there's some months that are better than others. Some days they're better than others. So when it comes down to it, you need to look at the whole picture, not just one.
Okay.
Interesting. Okay, 11 times 3. He says, "What's up, my?" Yo, bro, look at I'm reading this shit.
Bruh.
What's up, my niggas? Hey, G, is there a reason?
You want me to read it?
No, because if you were saying the word, it would be funny. Is there a reason why I have a personal pure 33 cycle every 9 years for my whole life? His birthday is 11/11/97.
Well, I mean, you're born on a special day, 11/11. It's always gonna be 22. So yeah, you're definitely gonna have a 33-year cycle in 2009. 2018, 2027. I mean, you just got one of those birthdays where the math, adds up. So yeah, I would plan those years ahead of time. Like, when I made GG33, it was in 2011. I wanted to get that 11 on the back end, that energy, and obviously it worked out because when I started going mainstream in 2023, that was a cat year. So I went mainstream with GG33 in a cat year when the organization was founded. That was all deliberately done, and obviously it worked because we got people like this over here talking about this stuff, and it never would have happened before. So yeah, you best believe I do things deliberately.